6th of August 2023. This is one of those Let's Talk Skidmarks. And you must excuse me if I'm a little bit unorganized. I didn't write the script for it. This has been milling in my mind for a few days and I just have to talk about it. And as usual, you feel free to make your comments and whatever, shit on my head or whatever. Tell me I'm a guy that knows nothing. I don't care. The reality is there are a few things that we need to take into consideration. Facts that we cannot dispute, and it's there for everybody to see. And every person and every grouping and every gang has got a free choice which direction they're going to go. The reality is South Africa as a country will not survive. Doesn't matter which way you want to discuss it and which way you want to try and justify your opinion. There are basic facts that you need to take into consideration. The first things that you have to look at, accept, and then make your decisions from that. Point number one. The industrial base of South Africa has effectively been destroyed. The reasons behind it, there are many reasons and I'm not going to discuss it. Let's stick to the basics. The industrial base has been destroyed. One of the big negatives from that destruction, that these racist blacks, yes, racist blacks, because that is what they are, fucking racists. They can try and tell you a black cannot be a racist. They're talking shit. They are racists and they're in different levels. Victor Orban said it very well when they confronted him about the fact that Hungary was not taking in immigrants like the other European countries did. And he said, it is not about race. It is about culture. Now, my tribe has a culture of working hard for everything we want. We have made that connection, that critical connection, that effort usually results in rewards. And that is the culture of my tribe. Most of the black tribes don't have that connection. They don't see the connection between effort and reward. But let that be. So the industrial base is gone. The next thing that is something that you have to take into consideration is that the administrative basis of South Africa has effectively been destroyed. There is not a single government department that are still functioning properly and can deliver service. Yes, they've got millions of fucking employees, but nothing happens. Just go and look at the queues at Home Affairs, at the hospitals, everywhere. Everywhere where you need service, it is queues. And then you get to the counter and you're faced with a total unequipped character that is only there to warm the seat. They can't really do something. Now don't misunderstand me. There are good people in the civil service, but they cannot make a difference because the overwhelming management plan is to destroy it. So, industrial base gone, administrative base gone. In this administrative collapse, there's a few subsections that you have to take into consideration. Number one, education is destroyed. Don't let them tell you anything different. These guys, and especially these young blacks that are so full of shit and parading around with their qualifications. Those qualifications means fuck all. First of all, he had a 30% pass rate for his matric. So there's 70% that he doesn't know. Then he goes to a university and he enters himself into a degree, what we used to call in my young days, tree climbing degrees, boomklimgrade. And they study that. And then they come out after 4 or 6 years with a qualification that should have taken them 3 years, but they have that degree. And then they demand a job. Fucking job where? Doing what with that tree climbing degree? What? Doing what with it? That degree cannot generate R1 in the economy. Not R1. So it's a useless degree. But they're happy with that. And that satisfies them. Because now he can sit in his shack with his degree against the wall. And he's happy. But it's a cultural difference. Then, so the education is gone. Then you go to the health services. Health services has been collapsed in totality. Don't fool yourself. The only functional health services are the private sector health services that is under control of intelligent people, people that understand that education is important and that you need to have a brain to manage an operation like that. But rest assured, with their NHI plans, they are going to destroy that as well. Then the third department that is fucked, the police department. That thing has been ripped out of its pot and thrown into the field to see if there's some shoots that will take. But that is also part of the plan. The education is to keep the people dumb. That is what they have to do. And they succeeded in that mission. The second thing is destroying the police. Why? Because a good, solid, disciplined police structure can resist any political figure that has got dictator ideas. So, rub out the police, rub out the army. They have to do it because that's where they can get resistance. And now you're going to ask me, who are this they? This they is the XXX cretins. And people ask me, who the hell is XXX? Now, XXX has got 3 components. The WEF, the hook noses, and the global capitalists. Those are the 3 parties that are dead set on destroying all of us. No matter what your fucking skin color are. You go and look what Klaus Schwab wrote. And he makes a very good case for valid reasons to rub out the useless eaters. But in any case, what do I care? All I know is I know who the enemy is. These blacks living in Zululand, they think they know. They don't know. So education gone, health gone, police gone. Now, you tell me, with those structures, the administrative structures, destroyed, and I've listened to really knowledgeable guys talking about the dilapidation in the administration system, and all of them are of the opinion that to reinstate an efficient government service will take between 30 and 50 years, provided there is clever people going in there today. So the clever people won't go in there today, so let's work on 50 years. Now, how can a country survive for 50 years with no administration? It just cannot happen. It cannot happen. So, I have said it many times that one of the missions of Cyril Ramaphosa is to pull the Republic down in the same way that the USSR was pulled down. Now you must think about that. Administration gone, security services gone. It's becoming easier. His last obstacle is the privatization of Eskom. All the other important state assets has either been destroyed or privatized. But in total, they are inefficient. But now we get back to the culture problem. My tribe is a tribe that understands law and order, that understands discipline, that understands education. That's my tribe. What is your tribe doing? I don't know. I'm not here to act as if I know, if I'm an anthropologist. What the hell, anthropoloog? I'm not that. There are people that are qualified for that. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing from the contacts that I have that are talking on really high levels with the Zulu tribe. They have got exactly the same problem in the Zulu tribe that we have in the white tribe. So, in the white population, there is different tribes. The problem is that there are tribal conflicts that cannot be resolved. And it's the same thing in the Zulu nation. The Zulu nation is also made up of tribes. But it seems like the more conservative wing of the Zulu tribe, and the guesstimates are they around about 30 to 40% of the population of the Zulu nation, they are beginning to see that there is no future in what is happening currently. So they are also worried about the future. And remember, Orban said, it is not race, it is culture. Now we've got this cultural history between one of the white tribes and the Zulu tribe. And that Zulu tribe that is more conservative. The only way a portion of South Africa can actually survive the onslaught of XXX is if the Afrikana tribe and the Zulu tribe work together. Why do I say they can make a difference? Because the history will show and tell you that those are the two tribes with the fiercest warriors. And you can have your own ideas, I don't care. Fact of the matter is, the Zulu tribe and the Afrikaner tribe has got a recorded history of fierce warriors. And that is what the XXX fears the most. So, if you are in my tribe, you must understand that our survival will depend on having a strong ally that we can depend on. Now, if you look at Europe, in Europe today, the single biggest, most prominent white tribe is the Russians. And they are extremely proud of their culture and their history. But they have some strong allies. If you take in consideration that Russia, as a country, exists out of 190 ethnic groups, that's a hell of a lot. That makes the 11 in South Africa look like amateurs. 190 cultural groups, over 2,000 ethnic groups, over 2,000 cultural groups. And I find it actually interesting that the Russians acknowledges the reality of cultural groups. But these clever South Africans, they only see white and black. And that is going to be a problem for them. Reality is going to rip them out of that dream world. So, where are we going? We need this country to break into pieces, smaller pieces, because in that breakup, there are some of those pieces that has a chance of survival. They will survive. Why will they survive? Because in certain of these pieces, the people there understand
that they have to stand together if they want to survive. Nothing to do with race. They know that they can only survive if they stand together. But they cannot survive in this shitpot called South Africa. Because South Africa, the concept of South Africa, has reached its sell-by date. And interestingly enough, XXX knows it. And more frightening is they planned it. And the hysterical shit is, millions of the people in South Africa never saw it coming. So we are sitting here with a situation that we are now in an administrative cauldron that is not operational anymore. And it must collapse. And what you must keep your eyes open for is who in this country is bright enough to understand that the collapse is imminent, and they are already preparing themselves for that collapse. That is what you must look at. And I feel sorry for these militant blacks, especially the youth. They are oblivious of what is coming. They sit with their cell phones and make their TikTok videos and spew in their mind what is in their minds, very, very intelligent things. But you should take the words that they spew and weigh it against reality, and then you find it is vapor. But to them, it is reality. There are some of them, and actually a hell of a lot of them, and older people that claim to be intellectual, that are totally oblivious of the nightmare of a civil war. They think if civil war breaks out in South Africa, they will be sitting in their luxurious environments and follow this shit on the TV and on their TikTok phones. What they don't understand is if they put their heads outside their doors, they're dead. Just as dead as the guy that is caught in the streets in a riot. So they live in La La Land. And what is amazing to me, there's one guy that I'm talking to, he is 100% committed to the fact that a civil war will solve all his problems. He's in for a hell of a fucking surprise. And then there are these blacks, these young blacks, that listen to Julius Malema. And in their minds, they see a civil war is going to be 65 million blacks against 2 million whites. That's what they see, and they like the odds. What they don't fucking understand is that side of the country, the eastern side, is a place called Zululand. And there's a lot of warriors in Zululand that are fucking unhappy about the fact that they've been sidelined. And they know they've not been sidelined by the whites. They've been sidelined by these northern tribes. So, and there is stories about Sinner and all of those visionaries and dreamers that all have similar scenarios. And most of them see the scenario of black on black violence. And now you sitting and listening to me, you black guy, listening to me, you think I'm talking shit. Let's come back to facts. Every day in South Africa, on average, 69 people is killed. Murdered. And if you look at that number, in that number is roughly, on average, 2 whites per week. Per week. Get it into your brain, per week. So, a week Now let's make this 69, 70 just for argument's sake. 7 times 70 is 490 total murder for the week. 490. And in that 490 is 2 or 3 whites. What is the fucking odds there? Look at that. That is your future. You black guy, that's your future. Who's killing you? Yourself. Your own people are killing you. Not the whites. White men don't go into the black areas and kill people. They don't do it. Yeah, blacks come into white areas and kill the whites. But 2 or 3 a week. But black on black, 490 per week. So you yourself are busy sorting the odds out. But you're too fucking stupid to understand that. When a black woman tells me that she dare not go out of her house after sunset in her township, and I ask why, and she said, criminals everywhere, police nowhere. So you black guys fueling the fires of racism, you must just understand that smoke from those fires are blinding you for reality. So let me conclude. The Republic of South Africa does not have any legitimacy any longer. The ANC cabal, the top cabal, don't have control over the country. They don't. They only have administrative control. And through XXX, the Revenue Services and the Department of Finance is firmly in control. I mean, I did that Skidmark on how they're stealing pensions. And a black guy comes to me and cock on my head because I call them stupid. He's not upset about the fact that the pensions are being stolen. He's upset about the fact that I call him stupid for allowing it. That tells you what is the cultural difference. So, the Republic of South Africa cannot exist any longer. The only opportunity for survival of anybody in South Africa is for that republic to break up into, I would say, 9 to 14 regions. And I also understand that some of those regions will federate. But that is fine. The fact of the matter is, the republic cannot go. And the sooner it goes, the better. Because this republic allows this XXX toolbox, calling themselves the ANC, to control the whole country. The moment the republic shatters, they will be out, because there are certain regions where they will never be allowed to have any power. Not by me or by the whites, by the people. Please, think about these things. Give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing, and I thank you for your support. The support is vital, and if you don't share, the message don't get out. And I want to say a very special thank you for the people supporting the channel financially. I really appreciate that. Have a great day.